All right. I think everything's good. Everything's good. And we'll go right there. There we go. How's it going? We're going to be testing a lot of new tech today. I've been really beating up the debit card over the past few days. Got a bunch of new toys to play with, and we're going to try them out in this stream and see how it all works out. So we are in Montpellier. We're back in the Mercedes. I did ignore the fact that there are no discovered roads down here. I did teleport to Montpellier, and we're going to go up through Marseille up to Nice. And there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you about it after we get rolling. I'll tell you some other stuff too. Okay, so we're going to cancel out of this. Hop back in the truck. And here we go. And I need to... there we go. Okay. Of course, it started raining since I paused the game. Windows up. Wipers on. Lights on. Brake is off. Brake is off. And here we go. We're going to go right around the corner to pick up. And then we'll roll down the coast. So, right. I tried to do a flight sim stream the other day. And the game crashed twice. And I just quit the stream. There was nobody really there. And I felt like anybody who had stuck around to that point, they certainly weren't going to stick around and watch me load the game again. It's a very slow loading game. So, yeah, I wasn't super happy about that. And then yesterday, I tried a train sim stream.
Go straight on.
Let's get through here. There we are. Carefully. Yesterday, I tried a train sim stream. We got some preserved content. Some new routes came in. One of them is Rapid Transit. Rapid Transit had some serious PZB issues, PZB, LZB. And I was curious if they had fixed it, and it seems like they had not. We got kind of an invisible trigger for an emergency braking event, and same thing. There was nobody in the stream, and it takes so long to get the train reset after you have emergency braking. I just went ahead and ended that stream as well. So I feel like I owe you two. I owe you one flight sim and one train sim. And I have been flying a lot in Europe. I've been flying from Geneva to Innsbruck a lot and really trying to learn that approach down through the mountains. And I've also been flying from Montpellier to Nice. It's a lovely trip up the coast. And I got to thinking, why don't we do it in the truck first, and then we'll do it in the plane. So we'll drive it one time and we'll fly one time. So this could turn into a very long stream, but I've got a lot of toys to play with. Is this our turn right here? Oh, okay. I thought we were supposed to turn in there, and it seemed odd. I can't remember ever turning into a little driveway like that before, but I do think they're moving some things around as far as assets. So put all that together, I feel like I owe you a couple of streams, and I also like the idea of testing out the way different sims and different games approach the sim. Indicator off. Let's get down to neutral, and let's get this picked up. We're taking oranges. We're taking oranges from Montpellier to Nice, 386K. That should take 20 minutes, half an hour. All right. And I did, off camera, I did back in first person using TrackIR. And it went okay. I'm not quite ready to do it, particularly not this one between these two narrow trailers. I'm not quite ready to do it in a live stream, but we will get to a point where we can back up first person. I know it can be done. I've seen plenty of streamers do it, plenty of YouTubers do it. Obviously, it can be done. I just don't have the skill quite yet. So we're going to get this back in third person. We'll be on our way, and then we'll add that in later. At some point, we'll add that in another stream. So what else? I also got 32 gig of very fast RGB RAM. The RGB obviously doesn't impact performance in any way. I just really like it. I've got subtle lighting in my tower, but I do like it. It's nice, a nice look under the desk. So I got that going as well. It's very fast, and I'm hoping that is going to maybe sort out some of the problems that I'm having with Flight Sim. Although honestly, everything that I've read, they just broke it when they patched it. This most recent patch is when the control to desktop issues have started. We want wipers off, lights off, engine off. Yeah, the CTD issues started with this last patch, and people are pissed, and I don't blame them. You know, that's a AAA title, and you expect a little better than that. So hop back in here, wipers back on, lights back on, thrower in gear, brake is off, lift axles up, here we go. So it is disappointing, and the thing about that is categorized like in code or in app development, software development. Anything that crashes to desktop is categorized as, I believe, SEV1, and it's the second most serious category of problems that you can have. The most serious, naturally, is BSOD, but CTD is no joke, and for a major developer like Asobo and a major publisher like Microsoft, for them to have a patch that causes CTDs, and they know it causes CTDs, it straight up says it in the patch notes, and for them to not roll it back, that's kind of surprising to me. You would think that they would, I mean, whatever was wrong with the game before this last patch, it was not causing those kinds of crashes, those types of crashes. So you would think that they would roll back to a previous patch until they got that sorted out. They haven't. They just let it stay. So I'm hoping the RAM will help out with that a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And how are we doing on AI? AI is different. It really is. It's more aggressive. I almost got rammed a couple times in the last ATS live stream. So yep, that's what's going on there. I'm hoping that will help. I got the TrackIR, enjoying that, playing with that. I just realized we got a mini map up here. We can get rid of this. Stand by. Carefully stick my arm out. Get rid of that. There we go. So TrackIR, more RAM. You don't really do anything with RAM. That's not an exciting toy to get, but I got that. And I also got a Streamdeck. And Streamdeck, I did not anticipate how much Streamdeck would change what I'm trying to do here, but I'm kicking myself for not having got one sooner. I didn't really know exactly what it did. I mean, I knew it was a button box, but I didn't know how powerful it was and how integrated it was. But it's an amazing gadget, and I think it's really going to help out. And I do plan to be doing a lot more streaming between now and the new year as we sort of transition from YouTube over to Twitch. So we shall see how that factors in. But yeah, I'm really glad that I got it. And of course, the first thing I did was, I got the XL, so it's got 32 buttons. First thing I did was fill them all. And was a little bit, I was trying to figure out, like, all right, you know, obviously we're going to have to thin this out a little bit. We're going to have to take some of these out. And then I realized you can build macros and folders and various other things. So some of the stuff that I really wasn't sure about leaving on that main screen, I just dumped it all into a folder, threw a folder button up, and was able to move like 12 tiles off my main screen. So yeah, I'll figure it out. It's very comprehensive. It's simple, you know, but it's very comprehensive. So it's going to take a minute to get the most functionality out of it, but we'll be working on that over the next couple weeks. So yep. And man, the past couple streams, it sucks. It really does. It's embarrassing, and it's frustrating, and it just sucks. It sucks all around when a stream goes south. But I do feel like I owe you a couple. So at the very least, we'll do Truck Sim, that I know works. No problems there. And then we'll do Train Sim. I know that one works. And then we'll see if we can keep Flight Sim running for an entire stream, or for the last third of this stream. You know, what's weird about it is, the sim was working till that last patch, because we have done live streams before with no issue. It's just that last patch, and that was the reason for bumping up the RAM. Is I feel like if you're just running a sim, if you're just running a game, you know, it's going to use X amount of RAM, no big deal. But then when you throw in all this other stuff, slide over here, throw in all the other stuff, right? Throw in OBS and SNAS, right, and Spotify, and all the other things that I'm running. It does get into sort of RAM allocation and memory allocation problems. So I feel like more RAM is not going to hurt. I had 32 sticks of slow, or a 32 stack of slow, and a 16 stack of fast, but I didn't have a 32 stack of fast, so that was what I got. Was 32 gig of 3200, which is not the fastest, but with DDR5 right around the corner, I don't want to go too crazy. All right, and I think we need to get over here. I don't think we're exiting. Waiting for SatNav to give me the word. Yeah, it looks like they want us to move over. Yep. So yep, that's what's going on. Hope everybody's doing good. Made it through another week, made it through another weekend, and we'll see what this next week brings. I did download Drivetrain Revision for the Western Star. That mod was written already. I assumed it would be. The modder who does the Drivetrain revisions is typically pretty timely, pretty quick. So they did get that done straight away, and we got that installed on the Western Star. No, I'm sorry, take that back. I did get the mod installed and activated in game, but we haven't put it on the truck yet because I already picked up a job that we're going to be driving in the next live stream. And it's a long trailer, heavy trailer with a Jeep and a Stinger, and I don't want to drive it through the diesel shop, and I don't want to unhook that job and lose it. I mean, I guess we could. Yeah, as long as we don't. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, we can do it that way. As long as we don't. Slow down a little bit here. As long as we don't abandon the job, I think we can. These turned off, and those. As long as we don't abandon the job, I think we can unhook from the trailer, run to the diesel shop, put in that other transmission, then go back and hook up to the trailer. So we'll do that next live stream on ATS on the way out of town. And what else is going on? Starting to see content for Flight Sim. When you look in the store, starting to see some freeware and some payware already. Whoa, easy. It's still not 100% used to TrackIR. Starting to see some freeware, starting to see some payware, and man, they still have not figured out a way that you can upgrade the game. Like if you I got the base version, I got the $60 version, and I should have got the $120 version, but I didn't. And there's no way now to update. At least not that I've found. We want this window, yep. There's no way to update. You can buy the whole game again, but so far I haven't even been able to do that because every time I try to buy it again, like I'm seriously willing to spend $120 on top of the $60 I already spent. Every time I try to do that, it says you already own this title. So, okay. I don't know exactly what the fix is for that, but I have not been able to upgrade. And there's only, I mean, I guess the thing I would want is the airports. There are more airports that you get, but they're sort of scattered all over the world. And that is, I don't know, I'd like to see a regional pack. Hang on, let's get out of here, and we want to drop our lift axle. Just confirm that that's down. And here we go. Yeah, I'd like to see them, rather than paying for and buying a dozen airports scattered all over the world, I would much rather pay the same price and get 4 airports like in the Northeast Corridor, like, I don't know, JFK, Reagan, whatever, Newark Liberty. I'd rather pay more and get a few airports in an area that I spend a lot of time in rather than get a dozen airports scattered all over, and really you're only going to use like maybe 1 or 2 of them. I mean, you can fly to any airport you want, but you know what I mean? That feels contrived to just go to a place because there's an airport there that you bought. I don't know. So, but the content's coming in already. The game's only been out for a month. People are already figuring out how to make high quality content for it. So that is super cool. And yeah, once the game gets stabilized, I personally think Flight Sim was released between 3 and 6 months too early. And there are a lot of things. I mean, there's stuff like the CTD, right? Really bad stuff. But there's other stuff that's just sort of ticky-tack. The air traffic control is a mess, and it's a meme already. The air traffic control will tell you to do things that you can't do, or obviously shouldn't do, and then when you don't do them, it just like turns itself off. It stops working and abandons you. And at that point, you can do whatever you want, but that doesn't feel very immersive to me. Like, just flying around VFR, uncontrolled airspace, it just feels too open-ended. So they really got to work on the ATC. And they also, I think they were too ambitious with the idea that they would have real-time flights. Like, the game is supposed to, when you have live represented, right, or when you have live selected rather, it's supposed to have every real aircraft that's in the area of where you are actually there. So if you're flying into JFK in the evening, there's supposed to be planes everywhere. Well, they don't have that. And also people are asking, like, how did they think that was going to work? Like, what possible fix could there be that you could have a ton of real world aircraft that, because there's something that's in the real world, they can only be where they are, you can't move them around, but they would then try to integrate that with all the people playing, and it just seems impossible. Like, there was no way that was ever going to happen. Turn that off. But they did try to do it, and I think it doesn't work. I mean, when you're flying with the real air traffic control on, or when you're flying with the real other aircraft on, it feels like you don't really get them. There aren't that many aircraft. As many as I think you would see in a busy air corridor, like in the evening. You know, flying into De Gaulle, flying into Heathrow, there's just not that much traffic. So I don't think they have every plane that's in the air represented as they said they would. And they also, there don't seem to be a lot of other players online. So I think it's, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of dumbing it down so the ATC is not overwhelmed. Downshifted all the way into reverse. No need for that. So they may get it ironed out. I hope they do, but it's going to take months. And until the game is done, until the game's ready, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would, as much as I hoped I would. All right. We'll get rolling through here. And what else? Yeah, the stuff that came in, the preserved content that came in, I tried, it is the main Spessartbahn, I want to say, the Long Island Railroad and Rapid Transit, which is Leipzig. And at least Leipzig, it seems like they brought the bugs in. I need to go in and prowl around the forums a little bit and see if anybody else is getting that same experience. But it seems like they just did whatever they needed to do to make it Unreal 4.23 compliant and then called it good. It doesn't seem very preserved. So we'll experiment a little bit more, explore a little bit more, and see what we see in the preserved content. I like the idea of it, but I don't know. It just feels more and more like Train Sim World 2 is just, it's just a, I don't know, a yearly update. It's not a whole new game. And I don't know what they did as far as preservation or making that content any better. But so it goes. 3 new titles coming out for me between now and the end of the year. Looking forward to all those. So it'll be a good year. Ultimately a good year for gaming, I think. Hits and misses, but mostly hits. Alright, I'm getting top gear here. And I don't think this trip, yeah, it's about 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't think it's super, super long. And it'll take, I think it'll take almost longer in Flight Sim, even though we'll be going significantly faster because we don't have the time compression like you do in Truck Sim. But I think, yeah, we're already getting to Nice. This is quick. Keep left, okay. And I think, was all this part of Vive la France, or did this come in with Italia? Yeah, I think France, I think the French DLC was all of France, and then Italy was, slow down a little bit here. Wasn't there one, yeah, there was one DLC that was not, it didn't have everything that you would think it would have. But then they like added stuff to another DLC, and so it had more than you'd think it would have. I might not be saying that right. Yeah, I want to say France didn't have all of France, and parts of France were added with the Italia DLC. I could be wrong about that. Alright, right through here. I like the Italian DLC, I really do. And I like the islands that they've thrown in. I think Corsica and Sicily is a very cool thing. I'm hoping they add Iceland at some point. I don't know if they will or not, but it'd be cool if they did. And I know I should really be in that right lane, but I'm staying in the center because I don't want to be trapped in the exit lane at any point. And I think this is going to work out because we're getting tired and we're just getting into Nice. So this could all come together. Do not hit it. There it is. Beautiful. All right. Get on out of here. And I think, yeah, that sign we just passed said we were, well, we're definitely on the way to Nice, but I think that sign we just passed said we're more or less in Nice. See how much further up here it is. Man, I've been tripping over words the past couple days. I think the stress is finally getting to me. Too much going on in the world. All right, what does this say? My French is not great. Alright, lock in the cruise control. Well, this is one of those really big French rest stops. Yeah, yep. There's one where the whole rest stop is on one side of the highway, and if you get off on the other side of the highway, you take a little tunnel under to it. Tunnel? Bridge. You know what I mean. All of the facilities are on one side, and you actually like exit, turn around, go under, go to the other side, do what you need to do, and then when you want to get back on the freeway, you go back to the other side. I personally think that's a little bit risky. I think it's too easy to get back on the freeway going the wrong direction. But that's just me. In the age of GPS, maybe less people do that. I know I would. All right. I feel like I'm getting muscle memory for TrackIR already. Oh, that was quick. We've yawned, well, I guess we've yawned 3 times. And that time when we yawned, we already started falling asleep. I wasn't planning on sleeping, and I think we're almost there. But I don't want to risk it, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and sleep here, right? and then we'll just pull the rest of the way into east. That may make us late, but we're not really hurting for money. We've got 5 drivers. They're all making us money, and we don't have any loaned. So let's just pull over here and sleep. And I think, yeah, we should be able to kind of wrench it over there to the right and get it turned around. Yep. All right. Stop right there. Pay the toll. Let's get up here. Yeah, I think we can do this. I mean, you'd think they'd be the same, but it feels like you get a lot more tired a lot faster in ETS than you do in ATS. And I don't think there's a slider for that, is there? I mean, you might be able to adjust something in the config file, but as far as I know, it's just fatigue on or fatigue off. There's no, you can't really like dial it in. All right, let's get pulled up here, get some sleep, and then drive the last. See how far we have to go. It can't be that far. Let's see how far it is. Okay. Where is our? Is it there? Where's our? I'm just looking for the regular menu that tells you how far you have to go. Interesting. Why am I not seeing that? Oh, I guess I got it turned off. All right. Well, we'll get there when we get there. So we're going to engine off, parking lights on. Let's get some sleep. Raining again. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the distance that we have to go. That might be a new setting. Like a difficulty setting where you don't have that information. I can't see why you wouldn't, though. I mean, you'd have it in real life. All right. Said there were 12 hours remaining, and I think you sleep for about 12 hours. So let's see how we're doing when we get out. And we might be a little bit late, but as I said, we're not hurting for money. So if we don't make the maximum on this job, not the end of the world. I know RAM is not supposed to affect FPS. Like in some ways it really can't affect FPS. But I feel like our FPS is pretty solid. I mean, we got lights on, it's raining. You know, everything is maxed out as far as settings, and this would typically be when we would drop off a little bit. We're not dropping off at all. I mean, it'd be great if that RAM did help us out. That'd be great. Anything that helps with FPS, I'm a big fan. All right, let's get turned around here. Trying to think when the last time I've been here. The maps are so big now on both ATS and ETS. The maps are so big now, I feel like you can go weeks or months like before you get back to the same part of the map. I think it's been almost a year since we've been in Scandinavia. And drifting over the line there. I kind of like that. I do, because it seems like that would sort of be how it is in real life. I mean, I know people have regular routes that they drive. But if you're a long-haul trucker, US, Europe, wherever, I think there may be times when you don't get to a certain city for quite a while. And it's the same in the sim. So, I like it. All right, so we're going to get on the corner here. Oh, there goes our frame rate. All right, just dropped off a little bit. Flip the axle up. Yeah, getting a little bit of chug right through there. All right. second exit. All right. We're running a company names mod, and it's like it works sometimes, but not all the time. I'm curious why that is. I think it could be things that were added to the map that haven't been, the modder hasn't brought that mod 100% up to date yet, but every now and then I'll see a company that like didn't get carried over. It makes me wonder. All right, here we go. I did buy a garage in Montpellier, and I don't know if we'll get one in Nice. Let me see how the money is. I want to say they're 150 grand. Let's see how the money is. We may buy one here, and I don't know, maybe make this kind of a regular run. Oh God. Really? Okay. All right. All right. I mean, I was slowing down. I guess they really want you to slow down. Interesting. I would categorize that as not entirely realistic, but you know what? It's just pixels. It's just a game. Right around here. Yep.
Get ready. Turn left.
Turn left. Right here. Okay. And then right. And it looks like
Here we are. Safe and
it's around the back. Yep. This way. Okay. We'll go third person, get this dropped off, and then we're going to test out Streamdeck and how it is swapping from one sim to another. We're going to swap from this to train sim. Oh, it's on the other side. How am I going to do this? Yeah, that was right. So we'll go around this way and then back it in that way. Yes. Yeah, this can work. It's nice the way the modder set this up so that all the trailer spawns for this yard are all the same company. I know that's not it's not as easy as it might seem. It can be a little tricky. I see a lot of questions on forums, people saying like, hey, I've made my own company, how do I get it to spawn my trucks, my cargoes rather? Alright, so, oh god, maybe a little too far. The steering axle is helping me out more than I wanted to, like always. Straighten that out. Yeah, I did a couple of tests backing in using TrackIR first person, and I did it, but it was not pretty. So I'm gonna need a little bit more practice, and then we'll start doing it that way in videos, in live streams. But for now, we're going the safe route. All right. Right about there. All right. Engine off. Let's see how we did. Not late. That's surprising. And we made, how'd we do? 18 grand. And we leveled up. Fantastic. All right. Let's see what kind of money we have. We've got 173,000. I don't think we can, or maybe we can. Can we buy these? 180. No, I don't think we can. Okay. Well, we'll, I don't know. We'll figure that out. So now this is what we got to do. We're going to fade to this. Right? Did that work? That worked. Okay, so now if we go here, that I need to get rid of this. Right? And now I need to start this. Yeah, I'm really kicking myself for not getting Streamdeck sooner. There's so many things you can do with it. And that is, yes, I'm trying to launch Train Sim World in the background. How we doing? Yes, no, it's working. It's not working. Might be hung. I don't know why. Okay. No. Let's try this. So if we go here. There we go. Okay. So then in Train Sim World, I'm going to get everything teed up and just fade back to that and see if that works. Maybe. There, right there, and then we want to go, is it this one? It is that one. Okay, so now, let's see if this works. If it does, it'll be a miracle. So now, Train Sim World is loading the scenario, and when it does, I'm going to fade back to it from Streamdeck. So to do that, I do this. right? Are we there? Yeah, I think we're there. So then turn that on, right? Did that work? I think that maybe worked. All right. Cool. I didn't know if it would or not. It seems like it did. Now we got to get the train prepped super quick. So we need doors open. So that's this right here. We want left side doors, and we want open. Okay. So we got doors open there. We want headlights on. Headlights. We want the sign. We got to turn our sign on. Right, so that's good. We want, I'm not going to use PZB and CIFA right now. I feel like they're still problematic, and I don't know if they're ever going to be fixed, but they're not working right now. What do we need? We need coach lights on, brake release, that's headlights on, cabin timetable lights. We want our little lamp there. I think... Yep, I think that's everything. And how do we look from the outside here? Yep, signs are on, headlights are on. Okay, let's see how this goes. I mean, I personally find this to be, I wouldn't say too easy, but without PZB and CIFA, I feel like it's really not, I don't know, it's just not as interesting as I'd like it to be. Right, closing doors. Brakes off. All right. There we go. And we've got 4.3 kilometers to go. There we go. So yeah, this run is, how far do we have? 4.2, speed is good. We've got, oh, the whole length of the route. What I like about rapid transit and what I like about all the routes in it is if you go end to end, you always end up in the underground. And I really like that. I don't know what it is that fascinates me about like subways, but I do enjoy it. All right. And the braking on this train, yeah, I tested this the other day, and then I tried to do a live stream, and I feel like the brakes, like they don't hit quite hard enough. And then they hit a little too hard. Speaking of, let's slow down here. There we are. But I think we should be able to hit most of our stops, especially without PZB, because PZB always puts you into those like slow zones and you're not entirely sure why. But I feel like without PZB we should be able to be on time. Hopefully. I was hitting within about 10 seconds, 15 seconds when I was testing the other day. Something like that. Yep, so this is preserved. They call this preserved content. I mean, I don't know. Draw distance and pop in are still, but I mean, it looks good. It's playing fast. We can do some MSI stats if you want to see them. Yeah, not really beating up GPU or CPU or RAM, and we're capped at 60 FPS, so I'll take it. All right, let's start slowing down here. We're getting ready to slow down. And we've got about 30-40 seconds to get in. Yeah, I would have thought I was a little late on the brakes, but Turns out a little too early. It's just an odd, like, I don't know, the timing of it is just odd for me. Right? Missed it in both directions somehow. All right, let's take a look outside. I don't know if we got that front door on the platform. Did not. Yeah, to me that's the worst one, where you're late into the platform and you miss it as well. That is not a good start. But you know what? We're gonna recover. We're gonna be okay. And most of the people that were waiting for this train were able to get on it just fine. I did see a hack to use TrackIR with Train Sim World 2. I totally blanked on what sim we were in. I did see a hack to use TrackIR, but it seemed not worth it. It seemed like it was really not something that was, I don't know, it just didn't seem worth it. And it was also almost like, not invasive, that's the wrong word, but you had to do a lot to get it working. All right, so we get that closed. Like install apps and emulators and just a lot. All right, 11K. Try to pull out slowly here. Don't beat up the passengers. And I think it was, it's not the next stop, it's the one after that, is where that unmarked 1000 hertz zone is. And that's the one that people have been, when they say the PZB is broken in this DLC, I think that's primarily what they're referring to, or places in the DLC where you get emergency braking without any warning or any idea that you need to acknowledge a PZB signal. I'm going to hop out here and take a look at the map. The tricky one for me on this DLC is when you do go underground, because the stops are like just a couple hundred meters apart. So it's like you're accelerating the train, getting it going as fast as you possibly can for like 300 meters and then immediately trying to brake, but not too early. So you're on time to the platform, and you just do that like 6 or 7 times through the underground section. The stations are really pretty though. It's one of the things that first like kind of clicked for this game with me was the way those underground stops look in Leipzig. So we'll see those momentarily. But in the meantime, I want to keep our speed up as high as I possibly can. All right, and everything else is looking good. Yeah, Streamdeck is a definite win. Should have done it sooner. But you can't know what you don't know, right? I think what's the... Yeah, 160 is the maximum speed for this train. I don't think there's any point on this route, on this DLC, where you ever get up to 160. But that's what they'll let us do, if we can. And anything else? I'm trying to think of anything else on this train, on this route. Unknown. We'll find out as we continue on here. I mean, I don't know how you would actually confirm whether or not these DLC have been updated or whether anything's been done with them. I guess just compare, right? Play them in TSW 2020 and then play them in TSW2 back to back and see if there's any differences. As far as I know, I haven't really heard anything from people that are super into the game about like what Dovetail has done to preserve these or fix them or modernize them or anything. I mean, they're not bad. I have to like stress that they're not bad. I just think it's a different way to approach selling DLC. Nice thing is I didn't have to buy it twice. If I did, I don't know. I don't think I would buy it twice. Maybe. Maybe. All right. Yeah, we don't need to worry about SIFA either, so I'm going to hop outside for a minute. See what it looks like out here. And this train, the double stack was added to Rapid Transit. It was not originally, you didn't have access to this train on this route, but then they added it later. And now with Train Sim World 2, you can drive any train on any route. Which I guess is, I don't know, I'm okay with that. Initially I thought that's a little hokey that you can drive like an American freight train on a German passenger line. But whatever, it's a video game. It's just pixels. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Have some fun with it. So, if that's what people want to do, good for them, man. They paid for the game. They can do whatever they want with it. Alright. Here. There's traffic on this line too. I really like that. Anytime there's like anytime there's any type of movement or activity, I really like that. Not just in this sim, but in any sim. Makes it feel alive. Makes it feel immersive. Alright, get ready to start braking here. We started our braking at about 700 meters for that last stop at approximately the same speed. And I feel like that was right. We just started braking a little too hard, a little too early, and didn't trust the brakes to slow us down the rest of the way later, if that makes sense. So we're super early right now. We're like 50 seconds early. Do the same thing we did the last stop. We just don't want to shoot past the end of the platform. But we got time. We got a little time to like maneuver. There we go. Mo better. All right, I'm happy with that. So now we get these open. There we go. Step outside to take a look. Beautiful. This game does have its moments. Have to admit. All right, so we go back here. Sorry, I'm like multitasking. All right. So that is good. We're going to hop back in here. There's a lot of little details in these trains. Like, yeah, we got a minute. These things, you know, I like that. I think it would be it'd be a lot more interesting if they brought multiplayer in. Right, for things like the second seat. All right. And are we... Oh yeah, we're definitely early if we have to wait. All right. Close doors, brakes off. And I think this stop has a station brake, because we will start, is it this one? No, it might be the next one. There's a stop where you start drifting backwards as soon as you apply power, unless you apply a lot of power. And I think that's meant to represent the station brake, where the reason you're not drifting backwards after the brakes come off is the station brake is on, and then as you apply power, it releases, but if you don't apply enough power to get moving, you will get that little drift backwards. Right, so this 70 zone that we're coming up to, this is the one. If you play this game, let me know, because I haven't been able to figure it out, but this 70 zone is the one where you get 1,000 hertz marker, not at a signal, but at the 70 in 1 kilometer sign. And you can, I mean, if you go slow or if you're really looking for it, you can see the 1,000 hertz marker in the track. But I feel like that's the sort of thing that's supposed to be at a signal. Is that not true in German signaling? I'll show you what I mean when we get up here. I was under the impression, so like right there is the 70 marker, and then that's when you get the trigger. Slow down here. That's when you get the trigger and the emergency braking, but there's no signal. There's just a sign, and I didn't think that was the case in German rail. Like in the way their signaling was set up, I was under the impression that you only ever had the 1,000 hertz markers at lit signals. So I'm not able to spot all of those, and it does throw me into emergency braking way more than I wanted to. And I wasn't slowing down for that 70 because I was getting ready to slow down for the station. Alright. Yeah, this run is turning into a bit of a tits up, but you know what? That happens sometimes. Alright, so I don't think we're going to get a gold medal on this, but we'll see what we can make out of it. Well, we'll be on time again, and that's something. They want us to stop where now? Right about here. Right there. Beautiful. All right, doors open. And while they're loading up, I'm going to take a look where we are on the map, and we are, yeah, we're making progress. We're about, I'd say about a quarter of the way through it. I don't know how long it's going to take to go end to end because we do have all these little stops in the underground, but that's all right. We'll get through them. And I'm going to take a look at something else while that is happening. I want to take a look here. All right. All right. Right. Okay. And more coffee. Always more coffee. All right. Doors closed, brakes off. Here we go. I think, yeah, we're still in a 70, but I think we're going to be, the whole train will be into this 120 before we hit 70. If that makes sense, yeah. All right, going to Wolfen. Interesting. All right. So right about 700 meters. Yeah, see that's tricky because we just blasted out of the station as soon as we could, right? As soon as they let us close the doors, we were gone. And really aggressive braking when we got here, we were still 15 seconds late. It's like that when you get to the underground part, but worse, I guess, if that makes sense. All right, and I'm gonna get these brakes backed off. Go outside and take a look. Works for me. All right, and where are we on the map? Making progress. Making progress. Love it. And I'm so used to the diesel trains in Peninsula Corridor. They're so quiet. These trains that we're in right now, they're so quiet. When you're not accelerating or moving, they're just unbelievably quiet. All right. Lock doors, and we are going to go as fast as possible. Because we were 15 seconds late here. If that starts accruing, like if we start picking up 15 seconds late at every stop, it builds up. So if we just floor it, let's see if this goes any better. And we are coming to a 120, so we're going to trim it off at 120, even though we're in a 140. And we've got braking coming up here momentarily as well. So slow it down to 120. All right. We got 60 in 3.5 kilometers, and we just need to stop for this next one. Yeah, now this one, we've got 1.5 minutes to go 1/4 mile. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Well, at least we'll be on time, though. All right, about right there. Beautiful. I'll take it. All right. Now where are we at? Yep. So I don't know if the time we made up was because of how quickly we left the station, or just the way that the developers have those two stops set up. But it felt like we had no problem getting to this one on time. See what we do to the next one. And because we were so early, we might have to sit here for like a minute. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, about 40 seconds we have to wait. No problem. And is that, what is that down there? Is that, oh, it's just a walkway. I thought it was like a canal or something. Couldn't see what it was. All right. Always wondered why, well, I'll wait till we get rolling again. Always wondered why nothing is shown on the map as far as like stations or anything. All the map shows you is just a line. It tells you where you are, but it doesn't tell you like where anything is on the map. All right, door's closed. Brakes off. There we go. Let's try to split the difference on how fast we leave the station. Instead of just going max throttle, let's go about 50% till we kind of get wound up here. And then we'll go the rest of the way. We've got a 60, but we'll be slowing down for the next station. So we won't blow through that one like we did the last one. And slow down for this one now. We'll slow down for the 60 now. Try to be good train drivers. Good student train drivers. And then the rest of the way into Bitterfeld. Okay. A little bit early, but we've got a minute to go this last half mile. I think we should be okay. Yeah, a little bit early on the brakes there, but not terrible. And we are just about on time as well. 7 seconds early, I'll take it. And we need to flip that around. And then open that. Beautiful. Oh, I'm trying not to bounce the camera too. All right, let me hop outside. We got a choice of livery when we were picking the train. I was doing that behind the Be Right Back screen, but one of the color choices just adds this yellow stripe here. Oh, I just went with it. But I'm curious what that yellow stripe means. Like if you see a train with that yellow stripe pulling into a station.
Bitte achten Sie auf den Abstand zwischen Zug und Bahnsteigkante.
Hell yeah, man. If you see a train with that yellow stripe pulling in, what does that mean? All right. Close doors. Brakes off. Here we go. And we're in a 120. Okay, we are going to 160. Cool. Be able to max this thing out. I don't know how I'd feel going 160 kilometers an hour in this train. Pretty speedy. Get that put up before we get to speed. Where's our next stop? About 6K. All right. There we go, 160, let's do it. Max throttle. Yeah, I mean, I guess I take that back. This looks like a pretty modern train. And 160 is what, about 90 miles an hour? Yeah, look at that. Not even breaking a sweat. We're just like cruising along here. But we will level it out right at 160. There we are. Beautiful. Has anybody been able to crash a train in this yet? Like as far as run a train into another train? I feel like you can't do that because of the signals, right? You'll always get a red signal and it will always end your service or end your scenario. I know in Flight Sim, they keep it, I don't know, they keep it classy. When you wreck the plane, it just goes to a black screen. It doesn't, there's no like flames or people screaming or anything. Can't say I blame them. Alright, so we're getting to Pettis Rota. Back that down. And on the map, we are not quite halfway, but we're in the neighborhood. Alright, back that down. And we are going awfully fast. So I did start braking a little bit earlier and braking a little bit harder. Just so we're confident we don't blow right through this stop. And this is kind of a small platform too, so we're really going to need to hit the end here if we want all the doors on the platform. Alright, well that's where they told us to stop. Back the brakes down a little bit, and let's see how we did. So the front is on, no problem. Alright, the back is as well. I mean, these platforms always look really short as you're pulling into them, but then when you're on them, there's probably one more car length split between the front and the rear, maybe a little bit more than that. Alright. Here, and we go here. Yeah, we're at about the midway point right now. Cool. Progress. Interesting. We were early again. Looks like we were about 20 seconds early. That works. I mean, the earlier we can be when we get into the underground stops, the better off we're going to be for the end of the trip. There we go. Missed the button. All right, brakes off. There we go. So we got about 6.5K, and we've got 3.5 minutes to get there. All right. I feel like the timing between these stops, I wouldn't say that it's random. I mean, you would assume for all the time and effort put into building a sim like this, that things like the distance between the stations and the timing and everything, that would all be like calculated out. But it does seem a little bit random sometimes. Also, look at this. Got wind turbines that aren't moving. Oh, dovetail. All right. So we'll trim this off right at 160. It's a rough section of track, man. Look at that thing bouncing around. Right. Lights are green. No speed limit drop. I think we're okay. All right, and I will break early for this station as well. I think we're good on time. We got about a minute to get in there. Minute 20 seconds. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. All right, here we go. Concentrating. All right. I'm curious how we do on our medal at the end of the run. Gold medal, silver medal. We've had a couple of speed violations and we have not been hitting all of our marks at the stations. Like this one, we were off by about 4 yards. So I'm curious if we get a gold for this. Yeah, I think we go underground right in here somewhere. Yeah, we're about to go under. All right. Back here. Brakes are all set. And we were, what, like 8 seconds early or something, so we shouldn't have to wait too long before we can close the doors. Yeah, about 10 seconds. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, we're still at 160. Okay. So we've got 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, 4.5K. It'll be tight. See how we do. All right, I'm gonna trim this off right at 160. All right. There you go. Level 6, I'll take it. All right. Down. Let's start braking. Oh, this is gonna be tight. This is gonna be tight. All right. The stress. The stress is real. I don't know what it is about being on time in a train sim, but I'm just like OCD about it. Gots to be on time. Take a look at the map. Yep. We are past the halfway point. There's that. And then we'll hop outside and take a look. Look at this beautiful little neighborhood. Beautiful. I'd live there. Love it. All right, back in here. Here. And I think we won't have to wait too long to close the doors. But we've hit just about all of our stops on time. I'm surprised. All right. There we go. Rockwoods. Okay. Max that out. We've got 3.5 minutes to go almost 5K. Should be able to do that. It looks like we're staying at 160, so no worries there. All right, turn this off at 160. ready on the brakes. Here we go. And we are just not stopping. This is unnerving. Alright, that's better. Yeah, that was odd. Felt like we were just not stopping at all. Alright, and they want us right about here. Right about there. Made it by 1 second. I'll take it. Doors open. Brakes ready. Hop out here. Right. And we'll take a look here. I thought we went underground back here somewhere, but obviously it's going to be in front of us. Okay. Ready on the doors. Oh, wow. Okay, so we were like a full minute early for this stop. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it does seem random at times. And I don't know if we were running PZB and we had to be a lot more mindful of our speed. I don't know if that would make a big difference. But to be just barely on time at every stop and then a minute early at this one, it is odd. You know? What are you going to do? What's that? Oh, it's a glass breaker. All right. Now we're ready on the doors. All right. Doors closed. Brakes off. Here we go. That. And we've got 3.5 minutes, 5K. I mean, we just did that. I thought we'd kind of struggle with that, going that same distance, same speed, or time rather, same distance, and we did great. Mason B, how you doing, my man? Yeah, I'll take 7 likes. I'll take 1 like. How's your weekend going? All right, trim this off right at 160. I keep seeing Leipzig in the station names, and I'm wondering when we get like down into Leipzig proper. Slow down a little bit here. Better. There we go. And we've got a 120 coming up, but it's after we leave this next station. Ready on the brakes. Here we go. All right, on. Yeah, it's starting to get kind of cool and rainy where I am. It's definitely good, good chilling weather, good NFL weather. All right, get this one just right. Oh, missed it. All right, people are going to have to walk a little bit. Sorry, folks. These things happen. All right. Over there. And then over there. Did we get everybody in? Yeah. Yep. Did we? Yeah, we did. There's no cars hanging off the end. That works. All right. Did that person just levitate? Did I see that? Dovetail says they're going to work on the people. They know their people are not the best. I agree. But they say they're going to fix them. They're either going to fix them or get rid of them. I don't know. Getting rid of them, I mean, I see what they mean by that, but I don't know. A train simulator where there's never any people getting on and off the trains. That's going to look odd. Oh, God. There goes one. It's got to be hard making a video game, man. It really does. Because even companies that do it professionally still struggle with it. Right. Wait until 10:13. Yeah, we're a minute early again. Again. I don't know how that's happening. I just want to, like... Oh, God. Are you seeing this over here? Let's see if we get another one. Oh, yeah. It's like the 100. Now I'm curious if that spawn would normally be like in a column or something, or like an elevator, you know, where it's the spawn itself should be hidden behind something, and then the people just like walk out from behind whatever, instead of just falling out of space. So it goes. So it goes. All right, here we go. Lock doors. Brakes off. Lights ignored. You got it. And we've got a 120 coming up, so what I'll probably do is just trim us off at 120. Careful with the camera. I'll just trim us off at 120. And we won't need to worry about braking again, because I don't think we'll even be at 120 by the time we pass through there. All right. So there's 120. Perfect. Coming to a 90. I think that's what that said. Nice little freeze right there. I feel like I've seen less of them with the fast ram. That could be, that's going to help out with that. And in fact, we can throw MSI up there. Yeah, I mean, we're only using 12 gig of RAM. So I don't know if that would, whoa, hang on. Let's slow down to, slow down to 100. And then get ready to stop here. 30 seconds before departing. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff they just kind of hand wave in this game, you know, as far as accuracy. But I always wondered with Sims if they made it as accurate as they could, would it even be fun, or would it be so hard that it's just like miserable? You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Zusi or tried Zusi, but it's like a training thing for real train drivers, and it's so realistic that it's hardly even fun. It's just impossible, and it's all in German, which I don't speak. All right. Stuff right here, right about here, right about here. There we are. And we need to throw this over. Right side doors, and then we want that open. All right, so we'll get the brakes primed and we'll hop outside. Oh, wait, what? What? Hang on. So we need to unlock the what? What in the world? Unlock right side doors. So we need to close the right side and the left side is still open. What just happened?
Bitte achten Sie auf die Markierung am Bahnsteigrand.
Huh. Okay, I thought we were pulling in on the other side, so I flipped the lever over and it opened the doors on the wrong side. All right. I hope we didn't lose too much time there. And we've got, that's what, a 100 or an 80 coming up? An 80. We're in a 100, we're going to an 80. Okay. So we'll get these closed. We'll get on out of here, we'll get into the underground. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Eventually we'll get out of here. All right. We've got windows up. Yep, windows are up. 2.5K. And I guess that's the Leipzig, that's the big train station, HBF. We're going to go to, let's slow down a little bit for this 80. I've been a bit reckless with my speed limits. Get this slowed down. There we are. This is 80. And I think we've got enough time to get there. We left a little bit late, but I think we'll be okay. All right. Going under. I play some RPG games, mostly looter shooters. I'm not really into like Skyrim or World of Warcraft or World of Warcraft or Destiny or anything. I prefer Division 2. I wanted to try Red Dead, but I never got around to it. we're going to have our doors are going to be on the left side. Okay. All right, we're about 30 seconds late, almost 40 seconds, and this is where the wheels come off. These underground stops, I find them to be like impossible. Yeah, the thing about a lot of RPG games for me is my OCD can't handle like the randomness of it. So anytime there's like magic or anything random involved, it for some reason it just triggers me. I don't know. Like even in Division 2, where like we're doing this, and then suddenly like I don't know, like a magic drone appears that cures everybody. You know, I don't know. That just seems like tacked on. I prefer even something like Tarkov where it's just straight ahead kind of looter shooter. Sometimes I like my games to be super linear, if that makes sense. All right. Close doors. There we go. Brakes off. And we have got to haul ass. So I'm just going to pin the throttle. How far are we going? 600 meters. I mean, we're leaving right now. And we're supposed to be getting there right now. So I just don't know how to do these and be on time. Other than just drive like an absolute lunatic. All right. Nope, other way. Come on. We're in a hurry here, damn it. All right, and I think we might be able to hop outside, but it's going to bounce the camera around, so I'm going to try to do this carefully. Yeah, these stations, I think, are very, very cool. The only thing I don't like about them is if you come in the stations in any kind of weather, the weather comes in with you. That is, it's a little immersion breaking when it's like, when there's a blizzard inside an underground station. But what can you do? All right, let's get ready on these doors. All right, here we go. No, I did not know that. I know that new Avengers game. Get these doors open, I'll tell you. That new Avengers game that's been out for like 6 weeks. The player base has dropped off 90% since its peak. That's this well, not just this year, not just 2020, because last year, but like with Anthem and was it Fallout 76 and just all the really disappointing games that we've had. I don't know if developers are like taking notice of this at all. Ghost Recon Breakpoint was terrible. Like these multi-million dollar games that we wait years for and then they just really drop off quickly. I feel like maybe it's more competitive than game developers are used to. You know, they still have that mindset where if we just make a game, everybody will love it. They'll play it. It'll be fine. But I think we're getting a lot more particular, a lot more discerning in our game choices and how we play them and what we expect from developers. All right, here we go. Yeah, 11 million to 500,000, that's what, a 95% drop? That's terrible. That is not good. All right. Like so. And then like so. And I think maybe I got the whole train on the platform. Maybe. Wow. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's so competitive. It really is. I think we got there's like 2 more stops out here. It's really competitive. And I don't know. It's almost like movies. I think about movies and video games a lot. I think there's a lot that video game developers and publishers could learn from the movie industry and from TV for that matter. I mean, you look at Netflix is its own studio now. They're making movies and they're kicking HBO's ass. I feel like HBO it got used to the way things were for so long and never really thought, well, we're going to have to try harder. And I know they made good stuff over the years, but it's like they didn't have to make good stuff. They just needed to make anything. And now that you've got Netflix kind of chasing them down, I think it's really forcing HBO and other studios to try to make better content. And gaming studios could definitely take a lesson from that. That the era of, well, we just need to make anything and that'll be okay, I think that era's over. They've really got to fight for their audience now. All right, so we'll trim this off at 80 or slightly above. And we are going up kind of a mighty grade here. But I want to try not to blow through this stop. Here we go. And if you're on any kind of grade at all, I feel like the brakes just hit, I don't know, twice as hard. This is twice now as we've been climbing a little grade. I've applied brakes as I normally do, and we just almost came to a stop. This is a very short platform, so we need to really pull up right at the very end of it. Right at the very end of it. Oh God. Did we get the door on the platform? I hope. So we need to throw this over here. Right, like so. Open. How'd we do? Oh, all right. We got all the doors on the platform, front and back. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, 11 million. That's a pretty big audience in the era of streaming, broadband content, like delivery on demand, all of it. That's a pretty big audience. I don't even have a TV. I can't remember the last time I watched TV. Everything I watch is on demand and broadband. All right, how far do we have left? That's not very far at all. All right. So back out of there. Ready on the doors. All right. Brakes off. Here we go. Yeah, we might be able to do this. I'm really curious if we get a gold medal after all those speed violations and not hitting all of our stops exactly the right distance. All right, trim that off at 120. What looks a great game? Start at right about there. Oh yeah, I really love it. It's I think it's the best one out there. All right, that worked out as well. So we need, there we go. Yeah, I think it's the best one out there. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. You know, no game is perfect. As long as they get pretty close, I'm happy. All right, let's hop outside and take a look. Yep. And how far do we have to go? Yeah, it's got to be just like one more stop. All right. And then I'm hoping, because we've done the truck already, we're just finishing up the train. We're going to hop in the Diamond DA62 in Flight Sim and see if I can get that thing to hold together for an hour. And we're going to fly from Montpellier to Nice. See what the weather is. I hope it's good. All right. Ready on these doors. Interesting. Okay. Says we were early pulling in here. Maybe we'll get a gold. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. All right, here we go. Lock doors. Brakes off. Cessna 310. I have not. Is that from the developer? Is that aftermarket? I haven't seen anything about it yet. Or did you tell me about it? Stop at 120. And we'll start braking right about here. side? Yes, we'll flip this over. Get that ready. Oh, shit. All right, we're stopping it right there. Not my best effort, but you know what? I think, yeah, we got it all on the platform. That's the main thing. As long as all the doors are on the platform and nobody's going to like fall to their death, I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, get some windows open here. A little fresh air. And yep. Back here. Right, that's that company is called Textron. Textron. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. All right. On time again. Interesting. Yep, I'm already starting to see some aftermarket content for Flight Sim. Some of it looks pretty good. I know I downloaded a skin pack, and it was really disappointing. A lot of them were just cut and paste, like obviously just cut and paste different colors, but they weren't any type of livery. They were just different colors for the aircraft. And they're the kind of skins that when you're in the aircraft and you look out the window, the textures are really just sloppy and just not solid work. Right? It's obviously something that somebody just slapped together so they could throw it up on a website or what have you, but it didn't, to me, it didn't have a lot of love in it. But I'm seeing also some really good stuff as far as third party and aftermarket. I saw somebody made Santa Barbara Airport in California, which is, I've got like, I don't know, maybe half a dozen or so routes that I like to fly. I've been flying from Geneva to Innsbruck. I like to fly from Santa Barbara to LAX. I like to fly from Mammoth to Tahoe. And somebody made a really nice Santa Barbara airport, so I think I'll be using that. LAX is a handmade airport, if I'm not mistaken, in base game. And now there can be a handmade airport for Santa Barbara as well, so I'll probably go ahead and get that. Alright. Stop right about here. Right about here. Oh god. And we're on the right side. Left side, doors. I say right side. I mean correct side. Alright. That's that. And that is, yep, I think we're going right here. And we'll call it. Well, we'll call Train Sim. We still got to do, still got to do Flight Sim. All right, hop back in here. Yeah, ultimately, I do like this game, and I spend plenty of time in it. Well, Train Sim World 2 is new, but I've spent enough time in Train Sim World 2020, and I'll transfer that time over to Train Sim World 2. It works. You know, it's a good, enjoyable sim. It's not perfect, and there's some edges that need to be sort of sanded off, some things that need to be fixed, but for the most part, it works just fine, and it works for me. All right, let's get these doors closed. All right, 20 seconds. At least there's nobody spawning out of thin air on this platform. All right, doors are closed. Brakes are off. Here we go. Yeah, that'd be fun. I don't know if there's any way to build scenarios in Flight Sim. I don't know if anybody's doing that, but it'd be fun to put together a scenario like a bush flight where you need to fly from one end of Japan to the other, stop at a bunch of airports in between. I haven't done the thing where you look for your house. And apparently I'm like the only person because everybody's done that. All right. Ready on the brakes. Right about. Right about. Right about now. All right. And we do have a red signal coming up here too, so be careful with that. Although I think we're close enough to the end of the route. I want to say we're done. So I don't think we need to worry about blowing through that red signal. And I did find out, I was curious about this, like how you know when to start braking for a station, because there's really no signs or anything. And what I found out was that in real life, train drivers typically have one route or one or two routes, and you actually do have to like learn the route and learn where to stop and where the various speed zones are. So it's a little bit more specific. I thought you learned the signage of whatever railroad system you were on, and then you could you could drive any route, no problem. But that's not the case. You do have to learn the route and learn where the brake points are and various other things. So a lot of train drivers know, at least for passenger service, they know one or two or three routes, but you can't necessarily like jump into another driver's train and take over that route and do it safely, because you can't always tell where the stopping points are for the various stations. Did not know that. All right, let's get these open. A little fresh air in here. All right. Ready on the doors. We've been waiting these last like 2 or 3 stops. We've been waiting at all of these to close doors. So, yep. Yeah, that'd be a fun flight, VFR. I enjoy IFR, but earlier in the stream I was saying, like, as broken as the ATC is, it really makes IFR, it's not always the most immersive. You know, when you're on final and ATC starts telling you to like expedite your climb to 4,000 feet as you're on final, right? And it brings you in at, 4,000 feet directly over the airport and then just stops talking to you. Just goes dead. Well, now what do I do? So you fly a VFR landing, but it's like you could have just done that from the jump, right? You could have flown your whole flight VFR and not been messing with ATC at all. All right, so we'll get slowed down here. About like so. Oh God, oh God. 30 zone right in front of us. Ah. And we've got a red signal as well. This is not going to end pretty. I mean, we're not going to lose the scenario or anything, but this is not going to be a fantastic ending to our trip here. As long as we get a gold medal, I'll be okay. Yeah, but things like that, whereas it moved us from one track to another, we had, we went from 120 to 50 to 30 in just a couple hundred yards. If you knew this route, you would know to anticipate that, and so it wouldn't catch you out. And I guess in real life, that is typically the way that it's done. All right, so we get doors open here, right? Over here, doors open, hop outside, camera, help me out here. There we go. I don't think you need anything. You can do it with mouse and keyboard. You can do it with gamepad or a flight stick or a yoke. I know one of, I wouldn't necessarily call it a complaint, but like one of the things, oh God, we're like done already. Lock doors. There we are. How'd we do? No gold medal. Well, for the most part, we were on time, but like we missed this platform by 120 feet. And this one by 150. For the most part, we were on time at every single stop, even down through the underground, but we did not get a gold medal. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to this screen right here. Right? And then I'm going to cancel out of train sim. Right? I'm going to try to do all this like while this plays. All right. Man. Now this next part might not work at all, but we're going to try to get flight sim going. That we need to go here. Yeah, this might crash everything, but we're going to give it a try just the same. Yeah, one of the things about Flight Sim that people were sort of not happy about is the fact that you can use a gamepad, and people that are serious about Flight Sim felt like, well, shit, you know, that just makes it a video game. How serious a sim can it be if you can fly it with a gamepad? I don't know. I think that's a little bit elitist. I don't necessarily like that. I think you should be able to play a game any way you want. Other than something like iRacing. iRacing, I feel like it's not fair to people that are playing the game very seriously, that you would hop on with a gamepad or mouse and keyboard and just kind of be a menace to everybody around you. Alright. This may or may not crash. If it does, hopefully OBS will continue running and I can at least like wrap up the stream and say goodbye. It doesn't just like cut it off cold. And this is also, Flight Sim 20 is one of the biggest and slowest loading games I think I've ever seen. It takes so long to load. And that's even off SSD. But we'll see how we do. Loading? Yep, we are loading. And now earlier today when I fired this up, it did come in a little bit quicker, and I was curious if that was because of the fast RAM. I don't know how much of, you know, how data can stay in fast RAM. If you don't fill it, if it doesn't get kicked out to make room for something else, it can just kind of linger in there and make that app load that much quicker next time. Curious if that's what was going on there. Right. Loading, loading. Yeah, I want to be super careful in the menus. I've found threads that talk about the CTDs, and nobody really seems to know what's causing them or what to do to avoid them. So, you know, what can you do at that point? All right, and we're just about in. I don't quite trust Streamdeck yet, because you can do things. Previously I was tabbing. I would tab back to OBS manually and I could see my screen. And with Streamdeck, you can just hit whatever the button is, and it's happening, but you can't see it happening because you're only looking at the top window of whatever's on your desktop. So there's things happening like behind that window, but you can't see them. So are they really happening? But I'm learning to trust it more and more. It seems to work pretty seamlessly. I'm really impressed with it. Still loading. Come on now. So the main thing that I've learned to avoid CTD is don't touch the VFR map once the sim is loaded, like once you're actually in the aircraft. If you don't have a VFR map open, don't open it. Just leave it alone. That'll crash the game. At least for me, it'll crash it immediately. And I've read all kinds of things about, you have to have your cache on the same drive as your scenery files. You have to do this, and then other people in the forum, Reddit, whatever, other people were like, yeah, no, I did that. It doesn't help. Still CTD. So it is what it is. I say between 3 and 6 months too early for that game to have come out of beta. It needed a little bit more time in the oven. All right, here we go. So if I go here now and we just hit this, then what happens? Did it take? Did it work? Maybe. I don't know what the delay is. I'm watching the stream, and we did just select. Oh yeah, it did take. Did it? It did. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to mute that. We're going to unmute this, and we need to select our airports, and we can be on our way, as long as the damn game doesn't crash. All right, so we are going to fly from Montpellier, which is right around in here somewhere, right around in here, and we're going to fly to Nice. But the first thing we need to see is how the weather is, and the weather is clear. Fantastic. Now, it is nighttime, but it looks nice at night. So if we go here, Montpellier, that's our departure. We're going to set a small, if I can find one, we're going to set a small general aviation ramp. And then for here, we're going to pick Nice. And that is right over here, right there, set as our arrival. We want low altitude IFR. We're going to select ILS runway 4 right. And we want our arrival to be like that. All right. So everything is good here. Everything is good there. We are going to cross our fingers and let this load up. And I'm going to take a look and see what the ILS frequency is for runway 4 right in Nice. And it is 110.70. So we'll need to remember that as we get the aircraft prepped. 110.70. This loading screen goes a lot quicker than the other one. Like I said, though, as long as nothing crashes, we should be up and running momentarily here. And we will have TrackIR back for this part of the stream as well. We had TrackIR in the truck. We did not have it in the train. And we'll have it again in the aircraft. Maybe. Come on. Just keep it together, Flight Sid. Just keep it together for me. Slowly, gently. There it goes. All right. Yeah, I just have to remind myself. I need a sticky note on the side of my monitor that says, do not open VFR map. And even on the, so like in this DA62 that we're in, there is a, you can switch one of the glass cockpit MFDs to weather. And late in a flight, I switched it over from weather to map, and I believe it draws from the same data files as the VFR map, and that caused the game to crash. So it's got something to do with loading that map. All right, so we're going to reset TrackIR, which is right there. And here we go. So, flash the battery on. Turn our flashlight back on. Get those on. All right. Flashlight off. And we want... let's do this first before I forget. We want 110 70, and we'll make this one the same. 11070. Okay, that's done. Let's get some altimeter. Maybe. No ATIS? Come on now. All right. They're not giving us any weather. Okay. 124 130 124 130. Interesting. All right. So we'll go back to ground. We'll get our VFR. I'm sorry, our IFR clearance.
Montpellier ground, Diamond November 1313, ready to copy IFR clearance to nice.
Diamond November 1313 is
Going
cleared
to 9,000 feet.
Take off runway 30 right climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
9,000.
Departure frequency is 130.85 squawk 1736.
All right.
Diamond November 1313, cleared to nice airport as filed. Take off runway 30 right climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 130.85 squawk 1736.
Diamond 313, read back correct. Contact ground on ONE 21.955.
All right. I would really like some weather information, and we're not getting any. So it goes. So it goes. All right. Let's get. Let's see where we are first. And we are. If we zoom in here. We want. So we're going to pull forward, and then head to the left up here, and then down and over. Okay. And we will set this to weather now. All right. And let's get some engines going. All right, up there. All right, so that's all good. That's all good. A little heat in here. And what's the best way to do this? I guess, yep, just forward and kind of rotate clockwise. All right, everything good here. Avionics, pumps are off, generators on. Lights. I don't use a checklist. I'm not a real pilot. I'm not even a real sim pilot. But I think we got most of it. Okay. Let's get out of here.
Montpellier ground, Diamond November
And we're going to give ATIS one more try here. Nope. It's a deader. Alright, here we go. We'll try to do this all first person. I think there's another way to get to the taxiway that is essentially behind us right now, but I've always taken off from runway 12 rather than 30. So just to be safe, I'm going to head toward 12, and then we'll flip around and head back down the taxiway. And there's no collision on these ground vehicles, which I guess I'm happy about. I mean, it's not super realistic, but it's better than like smashing into things while you're taxiing. That's no fun. Alright, so we want to go down here now. Yep, down this way. I know you can throw that taxi ribbon up and it shows you exactly where to go, but I find it really immersion breaking. Prefer to do it this way. Alright, here we go. And we want to zoom that a little bit. We'll get an altimeter once we're in the air. I would like to have one now, but it's more critical for landing than it is for takeoff. We need to get this configured. So that. That, okay. Haven't quite found the sweet spot for where I want to reset my TrackIR. I feel like no matter where I'm sitting, when I reset it, as soon as I move, it throws it off. I need to figure out where to put myself so that after I reset it, it's in a natural place. All right.
Montpellier Tower Diamond November 1 tree ready to go runway tree 0 right IFR to nice.
Diamond November 1 tree cleared for takeoff runway tree 0 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 0 right Diamond November 1 tree
There we go.
Diamond tree 1 tree contact Marseille Center on 130.85.
130.85 for Diamond tree 1 tree. Marseille Center Diamond November 1 tree is climbing through 900 feet for 9,000 feet.
Diamond November 1 tree Marseille
Ah.
Center. Continue to look at this
There's
plan.
our altimeter.
Altimeter 29.70.
All right.
Engaging autopilot.
That's set. That's set. Get rid of that. And we can relax and enjoy the flight. Mason B, are you familiar with VATSIM? VATSIM? All right, and we will back this down to, they said 2970, 2970, so we need to back this down. VATSIM is volunteer real air traffic controllers for flight sim. So it's not a computer generated voice, it's like somebody sitting in front of an app that VATSIM has created, that when you're logged into the service, like you're on their radar and they route you as they would route a real aircraft. It's unbelievable. The only thing is, I really have to practice like my comms, because they're they're pretty particular about like how you do it, and I suspect that most of them are either real pilots or real air traffic controllers. So when they do it, it's like 100% legit. And if I were using the service, I would want to be like as good as they are, and really have everything dialed, you know, and be totally professional. But yeah, it's called VATSIM, VATSIM, and I will get it going just as soon as I can. All right, I think, yep, that's us good for now. I'm going to monitor the temperature here because we will be flying through clouds, so I got to watch the icing. It's a fast little plane, but it's not super powerful, and if ATC puts us in the middle of a cloud and we start icing, it's a huge pain in the ass to try to get a different altitude and try to deal with that icing. Even on the Mediterranean, there is icing. All right. Reaching up to adjust my headset, immediately lose tracking on the TrackIR. Yeah, it's not perfect by any means. There are some bugs, there are some problems, but this is a pretty amazing sim. It really is. So we did this trip in Truck Sim. It took us from Montpellier to Nice. I want to say it took us about 40 minutes, but we were compressed 15:1. So it's going to take longer, even though we're going like twice as fast. It is going to take longer because we don't have that compression. And it looks like we're getting into a little bit of weather here. So hopefully this is an interesting and pretty flight. Yeah, this is a good looking game. And I'm not even on ultra settings. Not even close. I love it. All right, and we've got about 50 miles to our next waypoint, and it's looking like about 15 minutes. So I think the whole flight should take no more than an hour, probably closer to 45 minutes. It's amazing with that lightning. Perfect timing. I mean, I didn't want to fly in rain because it's just gray. You know, when you're in clouds, there's really nothing to see at all. But I also didn't want to fly in absolutely clear skies because there's no, you know, it's just kind of boring. All right, and I'm going to put our icing pumps on low, if I can get in the trigger. I'm going to put our icing pumps on low. Yeah, we're waiting for the mothership, Mason B. It's going to be here any minute. It's going to take us all to Jupiter. That is lovely. Maybe I'm easily impressed. Maybe I'm a nerd, but that is, I don't know. That's doing it for me. That's working for me right there. I've heard people call this a VFR simulator, and I can't necessarily disagree with them. The idea of like getting in the 320 or the 747 and just getting up to like 41,000 feet, turning on the autopilot and doing nothing, you know, not really being able to see anything when you're above the clouds. I think this is what we're doing right now. Is, I think, for me anyway, it's a perfect compromise where it's not quite, you know, 1,000 feet VFR. Stand by. Oh, they said Marseille. I thought they said Dare. All right.
124 decimal 510 error 72 tree.
There we go. All right. So when we get to, we're going to 9,000. When we get to 9,000, they should hand us off. But we'll just need to really keep listening for the call outs. And I'll start practicing I've been doing that, but even when I'm not recording, like anytime I get a message from ATC, before I hit the button that makes the sim respond, I always practice like what my response would be, getting ready to use VATSIM. I'm looking forward to it. I just want to do it right. You know, maybe I take my gaming a little too seriously, but I try to do everything right. All right, and we're going to end up at either 9,000. They may send us to 11,000. I don't think we'll go super high, and I don't think we're going to get into this cloud band, which is fine with me, because we've got no, at the moment, we've got no icing at all, and I would really prefer to keep it that way. This is a little ominous out here over the Med. Oh, this is great with the moon and the clouds. I love it. I love simulation gaming. I'm a very fortunate person. Oh, that's cool. Where the moon is like reflecting off that water. What? Oh, and you can see it. If we go there, you're seeing it through the prop spinner. There we go. That was us. Okay, so Marseille is telling us climb and maintain 11,000 feet, so our response would be climb and maintain 110, Diamond 313.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet, Diamond 313.
All right, been practicing. All right. That's 10, that's 11, then we want PS mode. Thousand feet per minute, and we're good there. All right. So little ones like that, like when they send us to a new frequency, you just basically repeat the frequency back and then give your call sign. So it would be 130.85, Dayer 313. That's easy enough. The ones that get me are like taxi instructions, where it's just this long string of taxiways and turns and runways that you need to cross. That one gets me. And the other one that gets me is clearance delivery. When you get your flight plan approved, that can sometimes be a lot to give back, because you've got all that information plus the handoff to ground plus your squawk frequency. I mean, I guess I could get a little notepad or something and just jot it down, or even use a tablet. Just write it down on tablet. But I do want to get BatSim going. I think that'll be fun and make it certainly a lot more realistic. Oh, that's something I need to be careful with. So just now, I don't know if you caught that, but we've got, so if I center myself in my chair and I reset TrackIR, we're good there. And we can look, and then we can lean a little bit as well. But if you lean too far, your head goes right out the window. That is immersion braking, so I need to be careful with that. And I don't think anything can be done to prevent that other than your own, like how you decide to move your head. Because there's nothing in the sim that is recognizing this as a collision. And there's nothing in TrackIR, obviously, that could recognize this as a collision. So it's just something I need to be careful of manually. Maintain that immersion. All about the immersion. All right, and we are, let me see how we're doing. About 10 minutes, and we've just got a couple of turns, and then we're going to head south, almost out over the Med, and then we'll turn northeast and begin our approach. So it's not a super long flight, and we've got plenty of fuel, and then we've got auxiliary tanks as well, and I believe the auxiliary tanks are in the wings, and you start with these tanks, the tank that are represented there. Stand by. So they're sending us to, right? So I would be 124.5 for Dayer 313.
Going to 124.5, Diamond 313.
I keep saying Dayer. We're not in the Dayer. We're in the Diamond.
Marseille Center, Diamond November 1313, 11,000 feet.
Diamond November
There we go.
1313, Marseille Center. Continue to look at this plan. Altimeter 29.71.
All right. Altimeter set. I've been flying the Dayer so much. I've been flying it. I built a skin for it, and then I've been flying it quite a bit. So I guess I'm too used to Dayer. Either that or Dayer and Diamond are too close. Skins in this game are. I know there's some games and some sims where skinning is super, super easy. iRacing comes to mind. Mod Studio for ATS and ETS. Slow down a little bit, back to throttle up. Mod Studio 2 for ATS and ETS. really, really easy to skin. And then there's others that are sort of in the middle. And then there's this. It's obvious that the sim is not designed for citizens to skin planes. There's just absolutely no mechanism whatsoever to do it. I was able to find some YouTube videos, and I also found a skin pack, and I was able to kind of pull those apart and reverse engineer it. So I built a skin for the Dare, but it's probably the last one I'm going to do because it took hours and hours and hours, and it really doesn't even look that good. So that's not something I want to do a lot of. Now what we can do is just go into one of the skin files and edit the base game colors and make them our corporate colors. So that's probably going to have to be enough as far as skinning. So we'll have a Kuhn Aviation Division. We'll have a Diamond DA62 and a Dare TBM in the corporate colors, and we'll just leave it at that. I'm liking the moonlight. The way it's hitting that water. I'm really liking that. Stick my head out the window. And starting to feel a little bit of turbulence. Not a ton yet, just a little bit. Alright, so as long as we don't touch the map, the VFR map, and as long as we don't touch the zoom on either the inset map or the weather map, we should be okay all the way to Nice. Let's check out here. No icing. So we've got, if you look right down here, we do have an ice light. But the thing is, it doesn't do anything. It's not hooked up. So I'm guessing they'll take care of that in a patch. But for now, if we want to check for ice, we do need to get the trigger. Find the trigger. There it was. There it is. For now, if we want to look for ice, I just turn the flashlight on, look out the window. It works. It's not a perfect fix, but it works. And I'm trying to guess what these cities would be. One of them would be Marseille. But, again, I don't want to open the VFR map. I'm guessing the biggest one would be Marseille. And Marseille is, it's like New Orleans. It's right on the coast, but it's sort of not right on the coast. There's a little bit of like a delta, you know. There's some other areas between Marseille proper and the actual coast. But it's pretty close. It's within 10 miles, 12 miles. So I'm guessing the biggest city that we're going to fly over is probably Marseille. And then we'll go up, and we may be able to see Monaco on the approach to Nice. I know Monaco is in the game, and I would love to fly over the yacht club. Now, if you know Monaco, essentially what you can see when you watch the Formula One race, that is all of Monaco. So I would like to fly over the harbor and the hotels and see what that looks like from the air. I mean, it's nighttime, obviously, and we'll be probably 25 miles, 30 miles. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how far Monaco is from Nice, but we won't be exactly close enough to see it. But in the neighborhood. Yep, I'll love it. I love it. I can't believe I'm back into sim gaming after taking many, many years off, and we're flying out from underneath it, sort of. But we're not going to climb up into those clouds, so we should be okay on the icing. So far, so good. We've got a little over 3 minutes to our next waypoint. And then we'll start angling a little bit more to the south. It'll still be east, but we'll be a little bit south of east. And then we'll make a turn to almost 180 degrees due south, and then from there we'll hit our approach. And if everything goes smoothly, and it won't, but if it does, we'll be in Nice in 20 minutes or so. Little airport down there. Now you can turn on tags that will tag all these airports and any significant landmarks. It's a big floating tag. I personally don't like that sort of thing. I find it kind of pulls me out of the sim. But you can do that if you want to. And it certainly makes it easier to spot some of this stuff. Just take a look over here. Yep. Good on fuel and everything is in the green. I need to find a place to put my cursor. I don't know if you caught that as I was leaning in to look at the panel, because I'm moving my head and the cursor is like right down here in the corner. The cursor is still technically on the screen, it's just very far to the bottom left of the screen. So when I move my head, without trying to, I can actually have the cursor over a trigger. So I need to be careful with that I don't bump anything, and like, because right there it was over the ignition for the left engine. If I had bumped that, it would have turned the engine off. Not that big a deal. Easy enough to restart it. We're not in game. We're not in a turboprop or anything where we'd have to restart a turbine and go through that long process. Just a diesel engine. Restart it quickly enough. But it would, in another aircraft, it could be a bigger problem. So I don't know what the workaround is for that yet. Maybe a way to disable the cursor? Can we do that? No, not really. Alright, we'll figure it out. Alright, and we are just about to make our turn. God, that lightning. Spooky. And I think... is this right underneath us right here? This might be Marseille right underneath us. I mean, I could look on my phone, but that's distracting, and it's also with TrackIR, if you do anything else, even if I drink my coffee or like look up at the chat or anything, it throws the camera around, so try to keep that to a minimum. Getting some stutters here. It's making me nervous. We just need the game to hold together for another 20 minutes. Alright, so AB, looks like ABLAK is our next nav point. And we've got about 3 minutes to get there. So there is a timer, and is it here? Is it here? There is a timer. If you're flying VFR, as you get to your waypoints, you can reset the timer. And Farm Boy, how you doing, man? How's your weekend going? Oh, it's fantastic. It's been a great weekend. It's been a great week for technology in the rig. So we're testing some things out today. We're flying with TrackIR, and we're also using Streamdeck for our transition. So I'm just having a blast. Living the dream. I gotta be careful not to stick my head out the window again. It's too easy to do it. You know what I could do? Is I could go into TrackIR and build a profile where from centered, right? Like if I center myself, like let's say I center myself on the flight stick, right? Centered right there, that my shove or heave or whatever you want to call it caps right about here. It can't go the rest of the way out. Okay. Yeah, maybe we do that. Or even over this way a little bit. Nope. Should have gone the other way. Go this way. Yeah, I'll try that. Well, I don't know about that. They make me pay for all of it. But it is... when I got back into gaming a couple of years ago, it's been 3 years now since I got back into gaming. And when I started, I got a gaming laptop, HP Omen gaming laptop. I got a Logitech wireless headset, and I got a Razer gamepad. And I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was, I mean, that's the whole tag, portable gamer. I was traveling a lot when I got back into gaming, and I thought that would be the extent of my rig. That would be as big as it ever got. And when I look at it now, it's like big monitor on a desk, laptop on either side, big gaming keyboard, flight sticks, broadcast microphones. I got a tablet mounted to the top of my monitor, TrackIR, Streamdeck. I'm completely out of space. I need a bigger desk. I am no longer the portable gamer. And you know what? I feel like I just can't find the sweet spot to reset this. Let's try that. See if that works. Alright, I'm going to check my waypoint too. Yep, we just got another one. We're going to ABILI, a little bit north of east. I don't know, man. This weather, it seems a little ominous, and we've got just a little bit of significant rain underneath us. We're going to fly right between these two. It's not that bad. I don't know, man. That lightning is... I guess lightning doesn't hit planes very often. I remember my dad telling me that. I was a kid, we were on a flight from London to New York, and we were flying through a lightning storm, and he was like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. It won't actually hit the plane, or if it does, it'll go in one end and out the other. No problem. Oh, thanks, Dad. You're very reassuring. He's he's a mathematician and an engineer, so he's not the warmest fellow in the world. Doesn't have much of a bedside manner. You know what I mean? He's pretty direct with his answers, and he always talks like an engineer. But he's right. It's true. For the most part, they don't hit the plane. It's still, I don't know, it's just making me nervous. Yeah, even in a sim, it's making me nervous. Yeah, I said it. You know what I worry about? This is how immersive these games are. When I'm flying, I will get worried about, like, how many hours does this engine have on it? When was the last time it was overhauled? Like, I completely forget that it's a sim, and there is no... I mean, you can turn on engine failures, but if you don't turn them on, the engines will run forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever. Alright. And we are... Yeah, I want to say, man, I wish we could open... like Flight Plan or VFR. I wish we could open those and take a look at them, but I don't want to chance it, because we've been going for almost 3 hours with no crashes. No game crashes, no OBS crashes, no stream crashes. Everything has worked out great. I want to keep it that way. Alright. So yeah, we're not touching that VFR map. We're just going to let the nav points take us where they take us. Fortunately, they're all pretty close together. Alright, we got about another minute until we make this turn here. Ugh. Really? Alright.
KLM on ETS2, you are flight 0 miles west. Descend and maintain flight level 190. Expect DLR DND Bravo runway 22 right approach via Mike Uniform Sierra transition. Clear to Mike Uniform Sierra.
Alright. I am texting right now. Bad pilot. Texting and flying.
Climb and maintain flight level 190. Expect 4 DME Bravo runway 22 right approach via Mike Uniform Sierra transition. Clear to Mike Uniform Sierra KLM 126.
Yeah, those are the ones that get me. That's a lot to remember. I mean, I guess you jot it down. That would be the responsible thing to do. Well, notepad or something. Or a tablet, like an iPad or something. Alright. Close that. Where are we at in our nav? We're going to UGLET. 7 miles. 2 minutes. I haven't checked for a minute. I don't think we're going to have any icing on this trip. I think we're going to be okay. I've had terrible icing flying from Geneva to Innsbruck, as you would expect. Flying over the Alps, it is really rough. We go right here. What about there? And then we come back this way. Oh, that's not bad. And we can still... Yep. Alright. I'm going to try not to reset it again until we start our approach. Or, I guess, even after we start our approach. But I feel like there's one good, accurate spot where we can get the TrackIR reset and really have it just be where our head would be if we were actually in this aircraft. Turning GLT. It looks like we got one more. The inset map says we've got one more in front of us, and then we'll make our turn. We'll make our turn to the south. We've got, looks like AMFOU, and another 2 minutes. 2 minutes? 3 minutes. 3 minutes to AMFOU. Alright, we're getting there. No icing. Fuel is still good. Engines are all green. Perfect. Perfect. Nothing to complain about. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get used to TrackIR. And I'm so mad at myself that I didn't get one of these a while ago. I'd heard about it. I mean, I knew it was a good idea. I knew it was worth it. I just didn't know how radically it would change things like flight sim and truck sim. It's just a whole different experience. Should have done it sooner. And Streamdeck. If you're considering either one of those things, I would definitely recommend it. All right, I hit a little turbulence right there. All right. AMFOU, good there. Normally ATC has me flying so high that I can barely keep this thing at 140 knots. Being this much lower, I gotta keep backing the throttle off. And reset my... Oh, okay. Again, TrackIR. I gotta reset my mouse. It had drifted way over too close to my flight stick, and I had to reset it. I was worried it was gonna bounce the camera around, but it's not connected to the camera anymore. Alright, so we're making our turn south, and we will, as soon as we get to the end of this leg at GILON, as soon as we get to our next turn, we're going to head back to the northeast and start our approach into Nice. All right. Yeah, that weather looks bad, but we seem to be missing the bulk of it. Like, it's not going to be a problem for us, that's fine with me. I would prefer it that way. All right. So about 7 miles and about 2 minutes. Yeah, there goes that mouse again. It's like there's nowhere to put it where it can't accidentally be over some trigger for some control. There's just no, as you're moving your view around the screen, the cursor it's just going to end up passing over triggers. I haven't found a fix for that yet. There may be a command, I'll take a look, and there may be a command to turn it off, like to actually turn the cursor off, and that would be, I think, the best fix. Where are we at? And then our next leg is, yeah, I think we start our turn here. I've flown this approach once before, but I don't have all the nav markers memorized yet. But I want to say we're going to start our turn to the northeast pretty soon and start our descent. In fact, let's get that open. Yeah, I think this is Nice, like right out here maybe, and right over here. It's not far. Yep. There's our turn. I don't think it's this. I don't think we're that close. Say it's out here somewhere. I don't know where to put that cursor to avoid that flickering. Put it right there. Ah, that's the secret. Instead of bottom left, top right. Yep, maybe that's the fix. Okay. And this out here, it looks like mountains. I don't know if there's any mountains around Nice. But this is all pretty built up right through here. That's us. So we are going to be 120.85 for Diamond 313.
120.85 for Diamond 313.
Yep. I'm going to keep practicing those. And then we would be Marseille Center, Diamond 313, with you at 11,000.
Marseille Center, Diamond November 1313, 11,000 feet. Diamond November 1313, Marseille Center, continue to Mike Uniform Sierra as planned. Altimeter 29er decimal 69er.
Mike Uniform Sierra. Okay, there it is. We were going to LUC. They want us to go to MUS. 2969. 2969. Set our backup altimeter. 2969. Okay, we're good there. And MUS, Mike Uniform Sierra, is about 4.5 minutes. Okay. Get rid of our cursor. Yeah, I'm guessing it's somewhere in this this built-up area that we're approaching right now. That's sort of right off our, I don't know, what would you call that? Right off our 11 o'clock. And we did put in our ILS frequencies, but they haven't populated yet for nav1, so we'll wait till those populate before we select approach in the FMS. Alright. So yeah, these tanks, I believe these tanks that we're drawing fuel from right now are the centerline tanks, and then we've got fuel in the auxiliary tanks, which would be the wing tanks. And typically you want to exhaust your fuel in the centerline tanks because they mess with elevator trim. You want that fuel gone first and then leave the fuel in the wing tanks because aileron trim is less critical as long as it draws equal amount from both tanks. But I know, like in the P-51 Mustang, in DCS, if you have your centerline tanks, if you have too much fuel in them, the plane just will not take off. You can't get the right pitch to get airborne. I don't think it would be as problematic in an aircraft like this, but I think it's still something to be aware of at least. All right. So yeah, that's got to be it. Like right out there. Yeah, I believe this is Nice. Right here, right on the other side of those mountains. Okay. Engine's all green, good on fuel. Okay. That's us. All right, here we go. So we're going to be descend and maintain 4,000 feet, Diamond 313.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, Diamond 313.
All right. So we will, let's get rid of this. 4,000. Bring this throttle back. We want this off, right? We want this. Find the trigger. There we go. We want that off. Yeah, I think we're good. And I'm going to check our ILS frequency one more time.
Diamond 313, you are 33 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway for right approach.
All right.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway for right approach. Diamond 313.
For right approach, 110. ETS2.0.70.
Climb at tree 13 contact. Nice approach on 123.15.
Okay, so we got the right frequency in the nav radio, so we're good.
123.15 for Diamond Tree 1 tree. Nice approach, Diamond November 1 tree is at 9,600 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
Diamond November 1 tree, nice approach, continuous climb. Altimeter 29.70.
2970, 70. Okay. Get rid of that. I don't think this is us right here. Hope not. Let's get down a little faster. We're still at 9,000 feet. Yeah, I think this might be us right here. If that's the case, then we would definitely want to get rid of some of this altitude. Yeah, I'm almost positive that is us, because we're going to be landing on a 040. And that looks like it could be just about a 040. Okay. There we go. Our nav radio 1 just populated. We're 26 miles from the piano keys. This could be us over here.
27 miles southwest of Nice. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Nice Tower on ONE 21.705.
Right.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 121.705 Diamond Tree 1 tree. Nice Tower, Diamond November 1 tree 26 miles southwest inbound ILS runway for right approach.
Diamond November 1 tree, nice tower. Cleared ILS runway for right approach. Altimeter 29.70.235 at ONE 2.
Cleared ILS runway for right approach Diamond Tree 1 tree.
All right. So yep, it's not this one right here, it's this one right out here. And which makes sense because we're on 4 right, which is going to be obviously the right. There's only a single runway here on approximately the 040, so yep, this is where we're headed right here. Okay, no problem. And it looks like we're going to, what are they calling it? 155 November Alpha. And that's, I'm guessing, where we'll make our turn for final. When we do, we'll switch over to approach. And that'll put us on the glide slope. And hopefully take us right down to 04 right. And we'll cut off the autopilot about 500 feet up and fly the actual landing manually. That's the goal anyway. That's the plan. There's 4,000. 4,000, and we're just about 1 minute out from our turn. Okay. Right at, we're just about to cross over 040, so let's do this. Let's do this, I say. There we go. All right, and we will go to approach mode. There's going to be a little correction here. Yep, there we go. All right. That it? Yep. Turning on 040. Flaps. We've got ILS for 04 right, but it certainly seems to have us lined up with 04 left. It may kick us over a little bit as we get closer, but for now, we're not exactly where I would like us to be. All right, we just caught the glide slope, so flaps in gear, landing lights. Gears down and locked. Everything looks good. It's going good. All right. I am curious why we're lined up with 4 left instead of 4 right. But I can always just... it'd be really sloppy this late in a landing, but we may have to manually jump over from left to right. I don't see any traffic around us. It's fine. It's fine. It's just pixels. Hang on, I have to take a look here and see what's going on. Zero 4 right, 110.70. Yeah, I don't know unless these are mixed up in here, because 04 left is 109.95. I don't know. If we have to fly the last part manually, we will. I'm going to close this radio window. I was expecting Nice Tower momentarily, but let's get rid of that. be a little bit more immersive as we fly over some of this scenery. What do you think? That is, I mean, well, we're sort of between them now, and we do have a little bit of a crosswind. Yeah, maybe it is gonna. Yeah, it's sort of bringing us over. All right, I was curious. This game has its moments, no doubt. Game, sim, whatever you want to call it, it does. It can be easy on the eyes. All right, where is Nice Tower here?
Diamond tree 1 tree cleared to land runway if you're right. Wind 2 tree 9 around on E2.
Cleared to land runway 4 right, diamond tree 1 tree.
All right, I'm going to ditch the autopilot, fly this manually. Here we go. Yeah, that crosswind is kind of gnarly. I think that may have been why it had us so far. Like, not lined up. We should be okay, though. Nice little freeze. Perfect timing. All right. Nose gear down. I'll take it. Alright, let's see where we want to go here. I mean, I'll take any taxiway. Here's one right here.
Diamond tree 1 tree turn next taxi.
You got it. And I think I'm just going to call it right there. I'm not going to take us all the way to parking.
Diamond tree 1 tree contact ground on 118.7.
You got it. That
118.7 diamond tree 1 tree. Nice ground, diamond November 1 tree request taxi to parking.
Diamond November 1 tree taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway cross runway 22 right delta.
is 22 right. Yep, this is 22 right, so we'll get across this runway.
Taxiing to general aviation
traffic here. No traffic. We'll just dip right across here. Get off the taxiway. How about right over here somewhere? That'll do. All right. So let's do this all in reverse. I did that without my taxi lights on. All right. So set the parking brake. Turn that off. Let's get some light in here. All right. That going. And we can turn pitot heat off, avionics off, ignition off. All right. Alternators off. Come down here. Find the trigger, there it is. Come back. Oh, game, come on. There we go. All right, so fuel is all off. We'll turn these off. Turn those off. And then we just need, right? Cold and dark. So we hop outside. And that's it. I'm done. It's the longest stream I've ever done. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Take care.